Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're playing with a deck called Graveyard Aggro. This is a Golgari deck, which is green and black, and you just start dumping stuff into your graveyard until your cards become incredibly cheap and incredibly powerful. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. And welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, sometimes referred to as the Great Khan of North Minnesota, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Filmed for our live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, posted by somebody named Dimaszka, something like that. And he called it Golgari Graveyard Aggro. Cool, Graveyard Aggro. I like those words. That sounds fantastic. All right, so yeah, this deck looks like it's a standard graveyard-y kind of deck where you're playing stuff and you're trying to mill like crazy. And your cards get buff as you have more stuff in your graveyard. But, as you can see, we got a bunch of stuff from Final Fantasy in here. So it means we're going to get the opportunity to be playing with new cards that hopefully will work with this deck in new and exciting ways. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work, and then we're going to go out. We're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got? This guy forces you to mill. This guy forces you to mill. This forces you to mill. This draws you a card, and it draws a card. We put out big guys, which we're going to be getting out big guys for cheap. This will return 2 guys from your graveyard to your hand. This guy, if you have, 6 or more permanents in your graveyard, you transform him to where his power is equal to the number of permanent cards in your graveyard. His butt's still 3, though, so he's still weak as crap, but whatevs. Chupacabra will do -X when he comes into play, where X is the number of permanent cards in your graveyard, so he'll just rip people apart when he comes into play. Exile target creature or planeswalker, cheaper for everything in your graveyard. When he enters or attacks, you mill 4 cards, which will help pump up all the rest of your cards. Cloud of Darkness, when he comes into play, he deals -X till the turn, where X is the number of permanent cards. So he's just like Chupacabra, except for he's got flying. Yep, he costs 1 more, it's got flying. It's a 3/3 rather than 3/2, but he's got a particle beam. Hollow Marauder comes out, forces your opponent to discard. A Withering Mask comes out, Death Touch 5/5. Could cost you as little as 1 mana, potentially. And Diamond Weapon normally costs 9, but you're probably going to pay 2 for it when you have to 8 with Reach, immune to all combat damage that would be dealt. And then what do we got? We got a bunch of different lands. This cool one here, it's slow, but it will put a land into your graveyard, which counts as a permanent, which is what the rest of these things love, as well as putting out a regular land, so that way you get the mana value out of it. All right, so there we go. So what are we going to do? We're going to get stuff out. We're going to try to dump stuff into our graveyard as quickly as possible, which will allow us to reference our big dudes, which are really hard for people to handle, and spot cleanse people with things like Wall of War, Chupacabra, Cloud of Darkness. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Shouldered, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, we're playing against Aquacross X26. A lot of mana. All right, number 1, drop out our dude, do a little milling. We get the Overlord ticking off, start next turn. That's not bad. Overlord. And don't really care about number 3 there. Exile's rough. I want him in my graveyard. Alright, Exdeath is coming out. Somehow we already got 5 permanents or something in our graveyard. That's fantastic. Is it cards? Permanents is what I need, huh? Chupacabra. And in for 3. Ooh, we can put a diamond weapon. Diamond is pretty excellent. Maybe another black would be nice. And it looks like green's really what I want. What can I do with this, though? I can do 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Probably even better after this thing drops out. Another diamond weapon. That'd be cool. And no tax. Let's just get some beef. Beef Supreme there. Alright, everybody's looking pretty good. He's not going to be attacking. He'll have 2 Overlords, but I can just come raging in on him. Alright, that's 17 straight up. Plus the diamond weapon is 100% no combat damage. Well, that's just dumb. Whoa, you're a legend? Alright, fine, whatever, we'll put you out then. Let's make him get rid of what he's got in his hand. And we win! In your face, Davy Jones! In your face! And we're playing against FriendofMonsters. FriendofMonsters. Keep. I want to come out fast. This is the card for us right here. Gnawing Vermin. Let's go ahead and get some dudes in the graveyard where they belong. That's not really helpful. More guys in the graveyard. We got 1 guy in. We'll decline it. This guy playing is playing Orzhov. Well, you gotta worry about that. He's down to 20. I put out Exdeath. Could probably just kill him. We'll see what happens. All right, 1 guy gone. Sure. We'll put out another rat, sure. We can get some more guys in the graveyard. We're not really seeing a lot of guys make it to the graveyard. That's the weird thing here. He's up to 26. He hasn't done anything yet. We're both up to 26. That's great. Let's see if I can throw some more guys in the graveyard. Nothing. Big weird situation we're playing here. I mean, we put like 17 cards in. Alright, there's a couple good guys in there. Is he going to wipe the board again, you think, when we get out the Overlord? There you go. Well, if he's got one of those 50-50s. That's what he's doing. Alright. Bo's looking good now. Let's grab our pal, the Hollow Marauder. He's down to 12. This guy will at least be able to... What is he going to do? Just force a discard? Alright, that wasn't exactly the guy I was thinking I was playing. Alright, so if he doesn't kill Neo Exdeath, we got some... There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Goes the room. Boom, boom. Alright, playing against Gari-san. Let's get some stuff in the graveyard. He's 4, this is 5, this is 2. Anything little? Yeah. Let's go green. Oh no, he's killing the rat. Rat's gone. Alright, we got another green, so I can go probably black on this to be fine. Let's do that. We got a nice collection of guys in the graveyard. That's good. Yo. Go for the kill. Good job, Chupacabra. I remember there used to be an old Chupacabra. I love that guy. I forget what he did. Maybe he just forced the kill every single time, something like that. Alright, we're laying it down. It's a Writhing Necromass. 1 million ants. Okay, I can bring back 2 guys from the graveyard if I want. Let's just chill for a second here. Let's do a Chupacabra. Let's bring back Exdeath. Alright, Beanstalk. And what can we 3-up with? Overlord? Now let's just pop this guy out. And he's super awesome. Look at this guy. He's got practically no mana. He's going to go for the creature kill, though. Overlord. I'm going to keep trying. Alright, I'm putting lots of things in the graveyard. And again, he's just going for control. Alright, that guy's gone. Writhing Necromass. That's great. Hold another card. And we'll go for a discarder. Force a discard to happen. And we win! Suck it, suckerfish! In your face! Suck it! Alright, I'm playing against Westopher. We got this guy's 2. Let's throw him over there in the 2 spot. 4, 5. Cookie Bow! Alright, if I do this, we get some stuff in the graveyard. I guess I could have thrown this out for 2. I could play him on the next turn. Anybody I want to bring back? Do I want more mana? It's probably a good idea. All right, this will do some milling for me. 1, 2, 3. And no, let's just leave it. All right, let's go ahead and Chupacabra ourselves something fun. Oink. Counting down for the Overlord. So I know, I mean, if you come at me, you know, I'll lose the Chupacabra. I'm totally cool with that. Dudes in the graveyard are a good way to be. I could use my particle beam. Alright, slow land, you're gonna take it. I'm down to 20. Or to 11. Particle beam. Alright, it's got 2 cards. I'm gonna rip that guy apart. Beanstalk up. Yeah, sure. That guy's a good guy. Could be a chump. He could be lots of things. He's just gonna go for the little kill. All right, we got that out of his graveyard or out of his hand. I have 2 Overlords out on the next turn. All right, draw a card. Let's bring somebody back here. Who do we like? Chupacabra? Yeah, he's a good kill. He's a nice little bomb. All right, we got 2 Overlords out. Those guys should be legendary, it feels like. This is overkill, complete and total. I got enough stuff in the graveyard at this point. It looks like I'll be doing it myself to feed it. Let's bring in another Chupacabra. Bring him back. All right, Beanstalk, you're earning your due. I'll tell you that. All right, nice. Whatever, man. The never-ending story. Na 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 na. All right, playing against Cuervo 64. One, two, three, 7. Dump some stuff in the graveyard. All right, that's good. I'll pay. Don't worry. I mean, I guess it could have been out the stupid forest. Let's bring back this guy. Because I probably should have just chumped with him is what I should have done. Bristly Bill. Of course, Bristly Bill. Alright, we're sitting here. Nothing yet. Still got to grow up to get these guys going out there. It cost me 5 mana. I've only got 3. Technically, if you come with Bristly Bill right now, I could do some horrible things to you. Alright, now I can't. Maybe I still can. You want to put on the bill? There you go. Come at me, brah. Swing it in. Swing low, sweet chariot. There we go. Okay. Now we can do Hollow Marauder if we need to. I'd like to do what this thing does, though, but then it's going to leave me... I'm going to have to do it. I just got to go after it naked. I can put out the Molt Tender. Oh, that sucked, but... I love the Obstinate Bailiff for exactly that reason. Yeah, we're suddenly very outclassed. Alright, 2 of his guys are gone. Not the greatest stuff in the world here. We'll pop this out. We got a nice Marauder. We're drawing like crazy. Lots of opportunities there. Hopefully he doesn't have another Bailiff up there. Alright, I'm going to go for 2. Anybody want to bring back specifically? This guy's got some skin in the game. Alright. So if I put out 2 of them, I can chump that dragon. He's got first strike, so that I wouldn't be able to chump. He'd be able to kill both of them, no problem. Yeah, I need creature kill to take out the dragon, so I just got to rage around him. I'm at 16s at 23. I'm not in a good position. Yeah, there's lots of great things. I need them. I got to find them. And I'm not seeing them anywhere. Let's see. What are we going to grab for this one? I could play everything, probably. We'll put out a second one of these. Is that good? What is it going to do? Bring back anything in here worth bringing at this point? We can make Chupacabra. We don't have it. So we'll put this out. It'll cost us practically nothing. We'll see what we can draw. Chupacabra, but not enough mana for it. So we could totally take out Super Big Boy up there. Whatever. Do it that way. All right, maybe we just need to chump. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think we'll just chump. There's a lot of good things we could kill. Ooh, that is horribly bad. All right, cool. That was much better than I'd hoped. Chupacabra can do what it needs to do. I thought this guy might potentially get in anyway. All right, that's 7 points. I don't need to have that stopped. What's he got there? Land? Cool. I can still take you down. Come on. Let's just let it go. Jeez, this is getting close. Nope. Auto pay. Nothing to kill. We could do this, what? Is it an instant? Yeah, we could do it on an instant turn. That's cool. We're at 2. We're at 1. Let's bring back this boy. Here's a little bit of life gain. We dropped it. Let's throw out some land and swing it in. All right, we got 3. Let's push the land to the left as the good Lord demands. We got a diamond weapon. Do I just win? We win! Suck it, sucker fish! In your face! Alright, so we are playing with Graveyard Aggro, and it was cool. It was cool. You know, Graveyard Aggro has been around. You know, it's just you just dump a lot of stuff into your graveyard and leave it there. And the rest of your cards get stronger and better because of it. But we're playing with a lot of cards from Final Fantasy, in which case we got, what, Exdeath? Who else is new here? I know Cloud of Darkness and Diamond Weapon. There we go. Those are 3 big new cards from Final Fantasy that are in here. What about Wail of War? Are you new? Nope, you're old too. We're going to turn 2 cards from your graveyard. Actually, that works really good. This, you don't normally want to bring things back, but once you dump enough cards in your graveyard, you really don't need more. So Wail of War is a good way of bringing dudes back that really react to the cards you already have in there. So yeah, that was actually been a really good card. I liked it. It was a good mix. It was a good update, and I thought it was a decent deck to play with. All right, so let's get down to it. What is this? Who was the MVP? That's what I'm looking for. Who was the most valuable player? It was Chupacabra Echo. That's who I was saying would be my MVP. That was the one I was looking for most of the time. A lot of times if I was going back and trying to drag things back from the graveyard, it was Chupacabra. Why? Because he gives me the ability to go after target creature and opponent controls. And you're able to kill it. So it's that targeted control against a particular creature. Usually I had tons of guys in my graveyard, so I could do 9, 12, 14 points of damage. It was no big deal. Chupacabra coming back, playing him for 4. Yeah. Because it was nice being able to put him out, being able to kill a guy, and have a nice chumper after the fact that left him there. And if I was able to attack, man, he's got Moneyball numbers as far as 3 is concerned. So therefore, I was able to do some decent damage against my opponent. So Chupacabra, you are today's MVP. Congratulations. You were going to Disneyland. All right, what else we got going on? Was this deck competitive? Let's take a look. I ended up getting a 60% off of this deck. Yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't fantastic. It wasn't quite 2 for everyone. Still, it was a good deck. It was solid. There's just a lot of cool decks being played today. Any of the new, like playing against aggro was too hard. There was a bunch of people playing combo decks. This one didn't hold up as well. This deck is really simple, right? It's just, you just play it, you get stuff in your graveyard, and you guys just get super big. Usually they can keep picking guys off, and that just makes you better. But sometimes, it doesn't work out. So still 60%, it's a good deck. Is it competitive? It's a competitive enough. You're not gonna, you're not gonna go to diamond level with this deck, but it's definitely worth the play. It was definitely fun, and I'd say it felt very much like Platinum Mythic to me. Platinum Mythic. All right, so I'm gonna give it a weak yes for Whatever, competitive. There you go. Second, was this deck fun? Yeah, I liked it. The deal is this, I mean, it says it's an aggro deck, and the thing that was cool is you got Gnawing Vermin and Molt Tender out on turn 1. That was great. Molt Tender's really ramp. Gnawing Vermin is probably a cool first turn drop. It works so well with this deck because you can force yourself to mill, and there's a lot of people you could take out with that -1/-1 after he dies, especially if he's involved in the kill that happens. You move it into turn 2. You start really kind of doing some other stuff. It felt like there's stuff going on. It wasn't like the first 3 rounds you were doing something awesome, but at least you were out there doing something. This deck really gets better by mid-game when your graveyard's starting to really fill up with stuff. That's when this deck starts to really take advantage, because that's when you're playing your cards super cheap and they're so powerful. And Diamond Weapon is fantastic in my opinion. Sure, he doesn't have flying, but he does have reach, and he prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to it. So that is fantastic. And he's an 8/8. So yeah, he's a great blocker. He does tons of damage, and you don't have to worry about combat damage, which is really good. All right, so let's see. So was this deck fun? Yes. Lastly, was this deck interesting? And I'm going to say yes. Why? Because we're playing with new cards from Final Fantasy. I mean, I played Graveyard Aggro a while ago. You know, it's been played a bunch in the meta, but now we got it updated with Final Fantasy. So yes, it becomes an interesting deck again because we're seeing it upgraded with new cards. And that's great. It's great when you can take an existing meta deck and you can upgrade it with the newest set. And this one did fantastic. Adding 3 cards to it, perfect. Cloud of Darkness, great. Exdeath, he's all right. Diamond Weapon, fantastic. Really, Cloud of Darkness and Diamond Weapon were fantastic for this deck. Exdeath, I didn't care. He was just a chump that was going to make his way into my graveyard. I didn't really care beyond that. I mean, he's cool when he flips around. He's super strong, but he's still got a 3 for a butt. And that's not going to hold out in the long run. There's so many ways to kill things that only have up to 3 toughness. And Exdeath is one of those. Exdeath. All right, so yeah, interesting. So let's add this together. Was this deck competitive? Weakly so. Was this deck fun? Yeah, not as aggro as you'd hope it'd be, but still, it was a fun deck. And lastly, was it interesting? Yes. Wasn't particularly anything new, but we got to play with some new cards. So I'm going to give this deck a straight A. It wasn't, you know, a brand new deck with a brand new way of playing and new synergies or tribal or anything, but still, it was a fun version of Graveyard Aggro. Just the graveyard mid-range, really. I can't even say why they would call this aggro, but that's just what it was called. I think this is more of a mid-range deck. So I'm going to say graveyard mid-range, and it was cool. All right, so straight A. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.